It's showtime, folks. Chasing Big Joe, 1025, 1063, the game here on this Tuesday. He's Big Joe, Dr. Crane, Nick Frazier behind the glass, the reporter Nick Keyser also back there, and I'm Chase McCabe. Hope you're having a fantastic start to your day. What's up, JoJo?
What's going on, man? Finally had to basically get a broom and shove Rex Road out of here and move on. And so it's good, man. It's good. It's going to be a great day. It's a beautiful day. It's only 72 degrees right now. It's fantastic outside. We're alive. We're breathing. Everybody's handsome. We're good to go. Let's do this.
If I put together like a celebrity boxing thing, and put you and Rex Road in the ring, would you do it?
In a heartbeat.
I think that would be fantastic.
In a heartbeat.
And I mean, if we raised a certain amount, I mean, we could do something stupid like oil wrestling or something. But I don't think anybody really wants to see that.
We could do like the scene from Stripes when they all go out in the town and John Candy gets beat up by the mud wrestler girls. We could all do that. Mud wrestling would be a lot of fun. So,
yeah, but I would love to see that. Just the tension between you and Rex Road, which is not real. It's just funny.
He moved so slow. I pray that his handsome son gets all the talent from Mrs. Rex Road.
Oh, I'm thinking that's probably true.
Yeah.
I mean,
the speed, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So the quickness, the agility, because I hope he's not getting. No, we love Joe, man.
We do.
He's busy working on that Clark Lee piece today. So.
Jerry Stackhouse.
Oh,
what's he doing
man?
Now? Okay, I want to start with this because they brought you up, and the people brought you up. Will Levis has this new Hellman's mayonnaise commercial.
Okay,
that has come out, and it's like a cologne, I don't know. I guess it's real that you can actually get it, and he has leaned into it, which good for him. My thing is, if you're going to get associated with something, lean into it,
right?
And he has done that. People were saying that you were not going to like it. Now, my reaction was Jared's going to be the one that's going to spend 4 hours complaining about it.
I got to see it.
Okay. Oh, so you have not seen it.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
All right.
Well, I'll watch it during the break.
Yeah, we'll find it for you.
So is it good? Or, I mean, let me get your opinion.
It's funny.
Okay.
I mean, it's stupid, but it's funny.
So why are people upset?
Because people
get upset over.
Yeah. I mean, look, again, there's going to be like a majority of the people are going to think, oh, okay, that's funny. Lean into it. Jared won't.
Okay.
I mean, he's already quote tweeted it and said cringe. I mean, he's not going to be.
Remember this
because he wants to be opposite of what everybody's going to do.
Remember our good friend Greg Pogue told us the greatest advice Greg Pogue ever told us, that 3% of the population is against oxygen.
Yeah, true.
So no matter what,
will tell you that the sky is green and not blue.
3% are against oxygen. That's always making me laugh. So people get upset. That's fine, man. I've learned, I have gotten better over age, that a lot of things don't bother me. And, I'm getting better in traffic, all that. So
are you though?
A little bit. Yeah.
I don't know.
Let's shut your mouth, man. A little bit.
I had to go to church after Miami because of all the words I heard, and, just to thank the good Lord I was still alive.
Here's my deal. If it's at a red light and you're turning right, you can stop, look, make sure somebody's coming, and then go. Don't stop at the red light.
No, I agree.
That drives me insane. I will honk at you.
Yeah, I agree.
I'll probably end my life that way by honking somebody who shoots me. That's fine. But I am going down that way. If a red light, you can't. For example, Chaser, 2nd Avenue off of I-40. When you come off to go on 2nd Avenue downtown, you have to stop. The red light says you must stop. And there's a cop who sits up by the church who will give you a ticket. I've got 2 tickets there in my life. So the red light, you got to turn right, don't stop. All right, I feel better
now. Here's the other one that I'll complain about because it happened this morning. When you're merging on the interstate, right?
Yep.
It's common courtesy, if you're already on the interstate, to move to the middle lane to allow people to get on. The people that don't do that and purposely just are oblivious and speed up and make, just block you from getting on, I refer to those as effer heads, because that's what they are.
Effer heads.
Yeah, well, I can't say the actual word, so I'll let you use your imagination.
All right, thanks.
But like it happened this morning, and I was just like, I almost told them they were number one, but I decided not to. But
yeah, common
it's just
courtesy.
it's like just move out of the way.
That's it. Or slow down.
Yeah.
Whatever. And that's the thing, people out there, when you're on the interstate, when you're merging on the interstate, it's called an on-ramp. So you got to speed up and get going. And all right, so we're good to go now. We feel a lot better now. But no, I need to see this commercial. I'll watch it during the break.
Okay, because I want your true opinion on it.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, it's not supposed to be some great cinematic work, but I like people used to give Baker Mayfield crap about the commercials he did where he was living in the stadium and things like that.
All the time, yeah.
They were funny though.
Yep.
Like in a I think his girlfriend or wife was in him, and it was like people gave him crap about it, and it's like, number one, people, they're not filming these during the season. This is all in the off season. It's not taking anything away from football.
Right.
And it's okay to have a sense of humor.
It is. There's nothing wrong with that.
But then you got some people that are just like, no,
we should always laugh.
Always be reading the playbook because I pay my good hard money to watch you play football. That's the only thing you should do. So
yeah, I'm with you, man. So I'll watch it during the break. That'll be a lot of fun. So as we get ready.
The other question of the day, I guess, or do you have a question?
I do have a great question. Okay. But go ahead with yours.
Hassan Haskins has asked for a trade from the New York Jets. Can't get a new contract. The Jets are saying we're not going to trade him. But, people are, of course, Titans need pass rush. Should the Titans get in on that? I'm going to say that's a hard pass for me. I like Hassan Reddick, but this is the team right now that is not in a good. Why is everybody looking at me laughing?
You said Hassan Haskins the first time.
Oh, did I? Yeah. Hassan Reddick. Thank you.
But then you corrected beautifully.
He did.
I didn't even realize
seamlessly you corrected it.
I like Hassan Haskins too.
Yeah, right. Don't get him.
No, I wouldn't do it.
He's already got, I was listening to McClain, a couple $1 million in fines. He's already a malcontent with the Jets. He's like, you want that here? Do you want that? You want the attitude here? No, I don't want that here. I'm sorry, I don't. I mean, just he agreed to. He went to the Jets. He loves it up there, and where was he? Philadelphia before, right? And they traded him over.
Yeah, I mean, he was great with Philadelphia. Yeah, but to me, the Titans are not in the go for it mode right now. I mean, you're in a let's see what you got mode. So no, I would not do it. No, I would not give up draft assets, which is what you have to do.
Not at all.
To go get him.
We agree on something. That's good for that. All right, here's another question, non-sports question of the day. 42 years ago today, the greatest high school movie of all time came out, Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Fast Times is the greatest high school movie of all time with so many quotable quotes that goes in there. All right, so on the text line today, the living legend in that movie is Spicoli, right? We all know Spicoli. He's great. He's wonderful. Sean Penn did a great job. I'm just curious, who's the living legend from your high school? A guy that's infamous just because of whatever, because he didn't care, he didn't show up. He did show up, and he had a 4.2. I mean, just the living legend at your high school that you still talk about today.
I don't know if we really had one. I mean, we had – I got to think about this. That's a really good question.
Yeah. So in McGavock, we all remember this guy named Larry Jarman. We were in high school. He was 32 years old. He would come to McDonald's and get, I don't know if he was drunk or not, but he'd try to fight us. But he was like a living legend because this guy never grew up and he came back. And so I always remember that guy. He's not to the level of Spicoli, but again, Fast Times, Ridgemont High, 42 years ago today, one of the most quotable movies of all time. Sean Penn probably should win an Oscar for that. Cameron Crowe wrote the movie as an 18 or 19-year-old, and it became just a living legend. I mean, the characters, Jefferson and Damone and everybody else, and the great scene with Phoebe Cates getting out of the pool and everything else that went on with that movie. So, again, so living legend from your high school or a quote from the movie that you use all the time that you do. There's one that I do when Brad Hamilton, Judge Reinhold's working at the restaurant, and he gets fired, and he says, "I hope you had a hell of a blank, Arnold," and he walks out. So a lot of great things, a lot of quotable movies. It's nostalgia. It makes us feel young and good again. So that's where we're going today.
615-737-1025. That's our phone and text line driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. By the way, 2900 says he's getting $1 million salary this year. He had 27 sacks in the past 2 years. Come on. Talking about Hassan Reddick. Yeah, but you're gonna have to pay him. Like, that's the whole point. He wants a new contract. So not only would you have to give something up to trade for him,
right?
then you'd have to pay him.
They'll work
Just
it
the
out.
Titans are not in a position to do that right now.
They'll figure it out. I mean,
they've done enough of that this offseason.
Yeah.
And it's been good.
Oh, it has been good. And as the Seahawks get ready to come, I guess they leave today. They'll arrive tonight and practices the next 2 days and all that. No, yeah, you're good, man. Don't give that stuff up right now.
All right, you can answer our question of the day. You can weigh in on anything we're talking about. Joe is going to look at the Hellman's commercial with Will Levis, and we'll get his thoughts on that. But your high school living legend, that's our question of the day.
Somebody you still talk about to this day, man.
Yes, 615-737-1025. It's the Chasing Big Joe show live today, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game here on this Tuesday. Just saw this, that the Dolphins have released veteran defensive tackle Teair Tart. I mean, 2 years ago, we were talking about the contract that he was going to get. And then he falls out of favor with the Titans and with Vrabel, gets cut mid-year. And now he's been cut in the preseason by the Miami Dolphins. I mean, I'm not going to say the mighty necessarily, but I mean.
Right. Yeah.
Like he was in position to make good money in this league.
Yeah, he was. And then boom, there you go. Oh, man. 31 other teams, well, 30 probably could pick him up. And will he come back here? No.
No, I don't think so. So you have now watched the Will Levis number 8 video.
Absolutely fantastic. Love it. I love it's like an SNL parody. If you're out there and you take that seriously, you got problems. I think that's a great commercial. It's funny.
So I'm not surprised. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, you're leaning into something. Good on Hellman's Mayonnaise for jumping on that.
I'm still trying to figure out what I saw, which is great.
I don't know. Well, you can supposedly buy this cologne, this perfume de mayonnaise, Will Levis number 8. It's sold out today on the website. They're going to have more tomorrow at 9:00 Central. It's $8, which is great. I mean, it's so he's leaned into this.
Okay.
But of course, you're going to have a couple of people, like including our good friend Ricky. He did an eye roll and, quote tweeted it. And I'm like, you just don't like popular things.
It's funny.
It's funny. It's different. It's unexpected. It's showing some of his personality.
Right.
It's not taking anything away from football. Now, if he sucks, of course, people are going to use it against him. But
I think I'm waiting for that one text like, well, he should be practicing, and resting on his off day. I guarantee they shot that in May or something. April, June, whenever. They've not shot in the last 2 weeks. Right. They've not done that. So I think it's great, man. I'd laugh my butt off at that. Well done.
Yeah. So
he's making fun of himself. I love it.
Exactly. And we need more of that.
Yes.
We need more of that. Self-deprecation is the best. And
all day, baby.
That whole, coffee and mayonnaise thing. And it's like, all right, I'm going to lean into it. And I'm sure they paid him a pretty penny to do it.
Yeah.
So good on him. I got no issues with it whatsoever.
No, zero.
There will be memes and it'll be great. So, but I think a majority of people are probably going to feel that way.
Yeah, I'm with it, man. I didn't know what to expect when I saw it, but it made me laugh like an SNL skit, and it was funny. And go from there. I mean, have personality. Do you not want a quarterback with personality? I mean, yeah, he's got to prove it on the field, but I mean, the guy's got talent. He can get it done. I think it's great. So, I mean, it's fine.
I was trying to, man, I'm mad at myself. I replied to Ricky's tweet, and I was trying to say, of course you do. And I said, of could you do?
God, you guys got to stop teasing each other during the show, man. I think you're busy going on there.
What a day.
Oh, I love it. All right, again, our question of the day, living legend from high school in honor of Fast Times at Ridgemont High coming out 42 years ago in honor of quite possibly one of the greatest characters of all time in film, Spicoli, with Sean Penn. And it's a shame, Chase, because you were like 7 years from still being born.
Yeah, I wasn't around yet.
That came out. And I was already 13 when that movie came out. It's just an iconic, funny, great movie. So we're talking living legends from your high school that today you still talk about.
Had a pretty good soundtrack, didn't it?
Oh, it had a great soundtrack.
Yeah.
Jackson Brown, Somebody's Baby Tonight.
That's a great song. Go ahead and cue it up, Dr. Crane.
737-1025. Pop it on the text line.
All right, here's what we got. Let's see. Brian says living legend John Engelberger made it to the NFL. Guy was an absolute beast.
What high school? Text us back. Let us know what high school it's from.
A lot of people are quoting the movie.
Yes.
Gary says Rodney M. White Station High School in Memphis. Pitcher on the baseball team, threw 100+. Drafted by the Twins, got a 9 on the ACT. Minimum given for filling out your personal information, apparently. Did you see they've changed the ACT?
No.
I'm so pissed about this.
To what now?
Like I was watching the news last night.
Okay.
And they ran a story on it, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. That this is just where we are as a society.
Well, how did they change it?
They made it shorter. He's too long. 3 hours is too long, which it is. In standardized testing is stupid because you should not judge a person's future on 1 3-hour test. But they've now made the writing portion, which I excelled at, and science optional. And then they've shortened, some of the math questions and things. So basically they made it 2 hours.
Oh Lord.
And I'm just like, this is what's wrong with society. It's like we're making it
should have made it 4 hours.
We're making it easier. Well, I mean, there's probably a better way, but I mean, if this is what we're going to do, it's like, let's stop making things so easy.
Now, if you'd made a 32 on the ACT, you'd be like,
whatever.
It is the greatest thing ever. Look, I took it 4 times, but a 19 each time. So, and that was
I
mid-80s.
I asked my mom. I think it was a 21.
Okay, good for you. I don't think we could get an MTSU today with that.
Probably not.
That's why you do all the extracurricular things.
Yeah.
Sports and theater and whatever else you do. Book club, all the good stuff. So again, Living Legend, 615-737-1025.
Okay, so here's one I'm going to use. And I hate this. I can't remember his last name. But he was in our class. His name's Russell. And he was like the coolest guy, like super nice and everything, extremely intelligent. He went to MIT. He ends up graduating going to MIT.
That's good.
I have no idea what he's doing now. But he was one of those, how like you meet smart people that are funny?
Yeah.
Like they have that different sense of humor that you can't replicate. And it's like you look at them and you never know what's going to come out of their mouth. But then when they say it, it's like, holy cow, that was funny. That was him.
Okay.
And I think we even we elected him the homecoming king. The home run.
Russell, call in.
Yeah. I don't even know if he's in Nashville anymore, but
Chase misses you, Russell.
He was cool.
FRA class
he
of
is
06?
he is a living, class of 06. He is a living legend because he was always funny.
Okay. All right.
And super smart. So he was the guy. If I didn't do this, I don't condone this, but if you were going to cheat off somebody, it would have been him.
Okay. All right.
So
Russell, call in wherever you are, buddy.
615-737-1025. Barry wants to give his living legend in high school. Barry, what's up?
Hey, how are you?
Good.
I went to school with Big Joe. He's the hero of the day. Student body president, starting right tackle, NWA champion of the world.
Barry, you got to stop drinking at 9, brother. You got to. I've told you about this.
Hey, I'm not stalking you. I'm just listening to your show. You guys are good.
All right, Barry. Love you, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Barry.
Tell your mom.
Remember Rope Man at McDonald's. I didn't remember the guy you mentioned a little while ago, but the homeless guy that had the rope around his head, everyone called Rope Man, was sort of there. Not just him, but Big Al, the manager of the football team. He was before our time in the 70s, and he's sort of a legend.
He is. Yeah, you're exactly right. He is. And Barry, you're a legend too, man. Tell your mom I said hi.
Hey, I do what I can.
All right, Bubba. Thank you, man.
Thank you, Barry.
All right, bye, y'all. Keep up the good work.
Thanks, Barry.
Tell Terry Bradshaw we said hi.
Wait. So I want to go back to something. Student body president?
Yeah, I was.
Were you really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Your senior year?
Yeah, I was student body president at McGavick. That's right, man.
Hang on, we got to talk about this.
No, we're not.
So how did that happen?
Nobody else ran. I think
you ran
the
unopposed.
one girl ran, and then I said, I'm going to do this. She's like, well, I'm not going to run. There's no way I can beat you. And I said, okay, whatever.
So it was truly a popularity contest.
Truly, yeah. So I was president of McGavick.
So what did you do?
Not much. I don't remember. My platform was just show up in school and have fun. Be nice. Basically,
so you could make it in politics today, basically.
Yeah, I could do it. I'd love to run politics today. Yep.
This is fascinating. I did not know this.
Yeah. I'm certainly not a living legend, but no.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
no,
yes, you
but
are.
it was just fun, something to do. I thought it looked good on my college application, which, paid off 11 years later when I graduated from college. So I had a good time.
You know what's funny, though? And by the way, Dr. Crane, I mean, we just learned something pretty amazing here on the show.
It's like documenting. Like you just got to get it on a piece of paper. Like, hey, this is Joe Dubin. He was class president.
I'm a nobody.
By the way, documenting, I like that. That's
it's
good.
a new word.
That's very George Bush of you.
Yeah,
thank you.
Brad, tell you that.
I'm pretty sure it's not a word, but you know what?
Documenting.
We're just really we're rolling today, Chase. It's not.
Were you up late playing Monopoly again?
No.
He's got an ant problem.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's got an ant problem at the house,
So,
and the uncle is no help.
well, my uncle's working. There has no problem with. I get what you're saying. It's a play on words here, but no, it has nothing to do with my uncle. It's just an ant problem.
Okay, I got you. We'll talk about it during the break.
Ants, plural. Not
ants.
not my actual ant. It's actual like the bug.
Oh, I was
So,
gonna be like,
is this going to be
Edna.
like Chase's thing where we need home remedies to get rid of ants?
No, I got raid. I scrubbed everything.
I've had to
down.
deal with ants too out at the farm. So
The pest control is what I'm very bothered by right
Yeah.
now. So it's on the back part of my mind. So apologies for my wording this morning.
yeah, it's okay, man.
All right.
We love you.
Is Nani safe?
Yeah, she actually helped me last night.
Okay, good.
But back to you though.
As long as Nani's okay.
Back to you though.
Nope.
Class president.
Mm-mm.
Come on.
Mm-mm. Back to more
Do
Nani.
you have a? I mean, is there a picture like that was you?
I think there's a picture of McGavick of all like, we had different schools. So I was a president of North schools. We had schools, north, south, east, and west. 80,000 students at that school. So
I actually didn't know that either.
yeah, so I was a president of North School.
But one football team.
But one football team.
Okay.
Yeah. Just a massive school. So
Yeah.
you had different offices you'd go to. Do you get trouble? You go to this office. So your name was A to D, you're in North School, E to whatever, you're in East and South and then West. So all the bad boys were over in West School, like Walt Wells. He was in the West part of school. A lot of people like that. Yeah. So no, I'm not a living legend at all.
I think you are.
Nah, we got plenty of people weighing in that are more important than us.
2900 wants to know who's Ricky, new team member. No, he's just a friend of ours that's
dear
constantly
friend,
gets mentioned on this program by me.
former intern here.
Yeah, he was.
Who, while he was here, continued to tweet another show in town and got in trouble. So, we had to.
You know what? I'm just going to tell the story because it's a pretty funny one.
Yeah.
So we're sitting here at the time. Big Joe and Greg Pogue did the morning show. I was the producer.
Yep.
And this was on 94.9, and we're in the middle of the show. I don't even know. I hadn't even looked at Twitter. And the late great Frank Wycheck had tweeted something, and so Ricky replied to Frank. And
I think he might have retweeted it
or
too.
retweeted it or
Yeah.
something. And Poe got so pissed off.
He got mad
Because obviously Frank was on the other station and doing the morning show. It got so pissed off at Ricky for like, how can you tweet another show? You're on this show.
Yeah, he walked
Another
in.
station.
Ricky walked in, and Poke's like, "Let me ask you a question." I was like, "Oh God." He's like, "Where are you?" Ricky's like, "Well, I'm here at 102.5." He's like, "Then why are you tweeting another station?" I mean, our competition. Why are you doing that? And Ricky's like, I don't know. It's like, yeah, why are you doing that? Yeah. So
I mean, there's some validity to it, but it was funny at the time, and it was Frank. So, we knew Frankie. And
by the way,
what it was.
Dill on the text line sends us in about Living Legend and says, "Don't read this on air." That's when we read it on. No, we're not going to do that to you, Dylan, but we're going to read this and see what it says. You guys are great. These Living Legends are all rolling in 615-737-1024. We all had living legends in high school who did something great, and most of them just kind of like disappeared and went like gone, poof.
Coming up next, speaking of living legends, Titans living legend, former punter Brett Kern going to join the show. We'll get his thoughts on first preseason game, the new kickoff rule, all those things. We'll talk to Brett coming up next here on 102.5, 106.3 The Game. This will be stuck in my head for the rest of the day now. Good stuff. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3, The Game. Excited to welcome back to the program our buddy Brett Kern, former Titans punter, is with us. What's up? How are you?
What's going on? How you doing?
We're fantastic. Just, I've been breaking down that first preseason game, getting ready for game number 2. I'm sure, do you miss this time of year at all now that you've had a couple years away from it, or is it kind of like, no, I'm good?
I mean, I tell you what, like this weekend's weather was pretty nice. That's not a bad day to be, full pads. The game was beautiful, right? A couple weeks ago when the heat index was 105, 110, and you're in full pads, you contemplate a lot during training camp. But, I think the preseasons, there's obviously a lot of debate. Some people hate it. Some people love it. For me personally, it was good to go out there, get some game reps. People say it didn't count it, but obviously it does just for your job and, feeling like you can get into a good rhythm, heading into the season. So I personally liked it, as much of, as hard as it was at times, depending on your travel and all that kind of stuff. But, I mean, it's good. Titans off to a good start, and they looked pretty darn good the other night.
So, and I'm going to get to that in just a second, but Stonehouse is coming off an injury. And so, I was texting you when we were watching camp. They were right in front of us. I'm like, hey, the leg's looking good. He's still got the power. Yeah. But, how important, if you were ever dealing with something, was that those first few days of training camp just to kind of reassure yourself like, hey, I'm good. This is whatever I had is behind me.
Yeah. I mean, I think in 2017, I had a sports hernia halfway through the season. And so for about 10 games, I was punting on a torn ab muscle, and I got surgery after the Pro Bowl. And it took, a good chunk. I mean, it took about 6-7 months for everything to kind of feel normal again. And so, sometimes some scar tissue would pop and you feel like you retore it, but it's just that scar tissue moving around. And that happened, in a preseason game. And so mentally it's huge, going through these reps, getting getting your body back to, hopefully what it used to feel like. And so I know just talking with Stoney and having conversations with him, he's just trying to get back to where he was. And it's a process. It's just a lot goes on, surgery and, rehab. And like I said, scar tissue and stuff moving around. And so he just needs time to get back at it, to really kind of condition his leg back to what it was before he got hurt.
Former Titans punter Brett Kern is with us on the program. All right, so you saw the new kickoff rule, obviously throughout the NFL. It debuted in the Hall of Fame game, and then we saw it last weekend. The Titans had a couple of big returns, but it's this dynamic kickoff is certainly different. And I know you didn't do kickoffs in your career, but how does it kind of change things and change some of the conversations in the special teams room?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, they wanted to address, last year it was the lowest rate of returns, I think, in NFL history, right? And so I think they wanted to, get a little bit more excitement back into, people necessarily just, it's a kickoff, we're going to go get a beer and then let's just see where the offense starts, right? And then obviously injuries. Seen a lot of injuries over the years of guys running down full speed, running into each other. I mean, it's pretty much a car accident every time those guys run into each other. And so obviously they want to cut back, mainly probably on concussions, because I think a lot of concussions happen on kickoffs. So in essence, you took away the speed, a lot of one-on-one matchups with the old kickoff. You could put fast guys at the 4 and the 5, and you kind of put some bigger guys, and you create mismatches, and then a lot of big plays happen because there's these gaps. You got guys running 4-3, 4-4 down there, right? And then you got a tight end who maybe runs a 4-8, and all of a sudden you get these gaps you can take advantage of. There's a lot to it, right? And so now it's more, they're so close together, which obviously you're preventing injuries, which is great. But now you're going to see probably different body type, right? You're probably going to get linebackers out there, tight ends, safeties. And I think the biggest thing that I noticed, in watching KJ's return the other night, and even just some returns across the league, is that now it's just about how many guys can you make miss, right? Because you're not going to get that running start. I mean, you get the running start, but with the blocks and all that kind of stuff, there's no gaps for guys to really go through. So who are you going to make miss, right, to get through that initial front line right there, 20, 25, 30-ish, right? And so KJ, he did a great job. I think I counted 5 missed tackles, spinning around, another spin around, little juke move. And, next thing you know, you're starting on the 15-yard line after a penalty. And, the first possession for the Titans is a red zone. And Will Levis, obviously, with the QB sneak, gets it home. So
we're talking to Brett Kern, the living legend from Grand Island Senior High School. All right, Brett, let me ask you this. When a team has a safety, why would you punt? Why didn't they give the kicker kick? Tell me the difference. Why they wanted you to punt after a safety and not have the kicker kick?
That's a great question because I'd love to know the answer too. So I absolutely hated punting after safeties because it's so different, right? You're not getting a snap. You're not getting the snap. Everybody's lined up with you. Visually, it's just so messed up. And so that was probably the weakest part of my career was kick after safeties. And I remember, I think it was 2013, we were at Pittsburgh, and I think it was Darius Renard who had the safety to start the season.
Right.
And the second play of our NFL season was me, a kick after safety, which was terrible. So, I don't know. I wish I knew the answer to that. I would love for punters to be removed from, the kick after safety and just have, the kickers go out and do that because that's what they're used to.
Yeah, because I asked because with this new dynamic kickoff rule, if I'm a special teams coach, I'm telling my kicker, get it as high as you can and try to make it land between the 10 and 15. That way the running back or the kick returner doesn't have a running start. And I think that would be, and so when I see the punt, you would hit you would punt a ball a mile high in the sky, but to place it there would be so much pressure. I would say, I'm good. I'm going to pass on that.
Yeah. I mean, the new kickoff rule too, it kind of stinks because I think we had a ton of fun practicing like surprise onside kicks. And now that's gone, right? And so now I think obviously the fourth quarter rolls around. It's like, hey, we want to onside kick this thing, and there goes the surprise element. And so even with punt after safeties, we had so many. There was one I worked on where I tried to hit a knuckleball as high as I possibly could and get that thing 5-0. Hang time. And I remember, guys like Kevin Byard and other guys, it became like almost a game of, who could catch this. And,
right.
Tucker, I remember Justin Tucker had a couple funky ones that you just can't do anymore. Right. So I understand the purpose of it and lowering injuries. And there's obviously going to be a lot of returns because in essence, guys are going to pop them up in that landing zone, the 20 to the goal line, and you have to return them. So there's going to be a lot more action. It's just a matter of, I'm curious to see how many returns will there be, like what KJ had the other night where you can rip one off for 50, 60 yards. So it'll be interesting to see and see how it goes this year.
I love it. Also, we just wrapped up the Olympics, and I'm seeing that you were a long jumper in high school. Could Brett Kern have made the Olympic team?
If you wanted to call me a long jumper, I think I was the only one that was willing to do it. I was just, for me personally in high school, I was probably decent at a lot of things, but I was never really great at anything. And so like for a track meet, I would go out there and long jump and I would finish third, right? Or I'd go do high jump and I would finish second or third. Like I never really won anything, but I was able to go get points for the team, just enough points to help us, win a tri meet or something like that. But trust me, there's no highlight videos of me, tearing it up at the state long jump meet.
I think you turned out pretty well, Brett, as an athlete. So we'll vouch for you, man.
I appreciate it.
Brett Kern is with us, former Titans punter. All right, so Brian Callahan makes his debut as the head coach, gets the win. But one thing he talked about last week was the kind of the dynamic of him calling plays and also having to be the game manager as the head coach. What were some observations when you watched the game under game one of Brian Callahan?
Yeah, I mean, I think preseason's hard because you got 90 guys, and there's probably 75 that played the other night. Guys that just aren't playing or for whatever reason, and so there's a lot of guys. And I think with preseason, you kind of take the first quarter, maybe first half. You could probably analyze it a little bit more. The second half is more or less who are the guys that are going to fill the practice squad potentially? Who's the guy that's, kind of standing out on special teams or, on offense or defense that we can't get rid of, right? And they kind of fill out the back end of the roster. And so, especially, watching the game, it's more or less like what are the Titans per se, right? What are they on offense with Brian and Nick Holtz and, defense with Denard and special teams with Colt, right? What are they doing? Because you could break down individual plays and all that kind of stuff. But, if you look at the first half, right, defense, that first drive I was like, uh-oh. Right. No, I mean, being with Denard in Philly, like, no, this is not the defense that I think is going to come to the table every time, right? And so, obviously for San Francisco to go down and get the opening TD was not great. But how did the defense respond after that, right? Stopped them, 3 and out, another stop, right? They came out and, showed who they are. And so, you take away that first drive and, you're looking at giving up maybe 200 yards for the whole game, which I think is pretty stout. And then offense, to start that game in the red zone, I'm just thankful it didn't go backwards because you really don't know what to expect in the preseason. And it didn't go backwards. You didn't settle for a field goal. They went in, had a couple plays, and Will Levis, I think it's fitting to score the first, TD, the preseason, but really, to set the season off in the right way. The offense marched down again, 7 plays, 67 yards. Tajay touchdown. Obviously, the next one after that, after the 3 and out to go 17 plays, that's a heck of a drive. Would you love to finish, on that 4th down, right, to sneak in there? Yeah, that'd been great. But defense stopped them, got the ball back, had another drive, and I think obviously you'd love Nick to make that field goal. But that's part of the preseason too. You're kind of getting the kinks out, and I know like during the season he's going to make that, right. So I think overall, they're sending a message, hey, I mean, they could have been up 21-7, 24-7 at half. But I think just the way they played, just how they were composed, I thought they came out and had a really good start.
We're talking to former Titans punter Brett Kern. Brett, did you ever read the riot act from Vrabel? I'm just curious.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it just kind of depends on what you consider that.
Was there one moment when he was just so mad at you?
Yeah. 100%. I think what kind of stunk the most for me was that COVID year, and there was nobody in the stands, and and so his voice kind of echoed through stadiums across America, and I remember the worst one. We were playing Sunday Night Football at Green Bay, and it was in that snowstorm, and they called punt, and I really couldn't tell where the ball was because the snow's on the markers, and you can't really tell what's going on, and the snow's falling. I remember one time you couldn't really see the scoreboard. It was coming down so hard. And I remember him calling punt, and I remember jogging out there, and Coach Auk is telling me, hey, hit this type of punt. I'm like, okay, yeah, this probably works in this situation. And I get out there, and the ball's on like the 33-yard line. I'm like, why are we not kicking a field goal? And then I'm thinking, this would be impossible to make. So I'm just going to hit, my little knuckleball. Let's see if we can get him, down inside the 10. And I hit the knuckleball, and this thing catches the wind up there. This thing lands. I was like, this thing lands probably like 5-6 yards deep in the end zone. I'm like, oh, this is not good. This is a 33-yard punt with a 13-yard net. Like, this is bad. And the next thing you know, I hear Vrabel, what are we doing? Now this is radio version,
right?
And I just heard his voice just echo through Lambeau. I'm like, oh man, it wasn't. Yeah, but that was. That was. I remember that, and I'll remember that for a long time.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, that's fantastic. Hey, real quick, joint practices this week with Seattle. How beneficial are those? The preseason games are one thing, but to actually work with another team for a couple days, how beneficial can those be?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're huge because you look at, for example, Levis to Ridley, right? That's 1 catch, 22 yards. That's what you got for the game. But you go practices against Seattle, and you're going to get Levis to Ridley 10 times in a practice, right? It could be more than that against Seattle's ones, right? And so even on special teams, over camp, offense, defense, special teams, they all get used to Titans on Titans, right? And so here to get a lot of game-like reps for 2-3 days, special teams, offense, defense, 7-on-7, red zone. I mean, you name it, right? In essence, you get a preseason game times. It feels like it could be with the rep wise. You're looking at 4 or 5 games worth of reps for these guys over 2 to 3 days, and so you get a lot more quality work against guys that you don't know their tendencies necessarily. DBs, wide receivers. They don't know the little nuances, whereas, a DB for the Titans probably has been going up against Ridley for the past 3 weeks and understands, hey, he kind of does this and this, and I'm understanding the play calling that, Coach Callahan's doing and Nick. And so it can become predictable at times, but you go up against another team, Seattle coming in, fresh faces. It's, it feels like a game, and it's great.
For sure. Brett, good to talk to you. Thanks so much for doing this. Great stuff. And we will definitely do it again soon.
Absolutely. Y'all take care.
You too. Brett Kern, former Titans punter, joining us here on the Chasing Big Joe show. A lot to unpack there. Really good stuff with him. We'll do that coming up next. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Jason Big Joe, 1025, 1063 The Game. Here on this Tuesday, Dr. Crane, Nick Frazier on the ones and twos as well. Appreciate Brett Kern for joining us on the program. Good insight there on the kickoff, and I love the Vrabel story.
Yeah, right. Echoed through an empty stadium at Lambeau Field.
I mean,
my goodness,
he had, he was, now it obviously has changed, but he was one of the few that could say he played for Fisher, Munchak, probably forgets Wisenhunt, Malarkey, and then Vrabel.
Yep, I think him and Derek Morgan were the only two that played for all of them to do that.
I think so, yeah.
Derek Morgan, #1 draft choice who basically did nothing.
Yeah. I mean, he was okay, but maybe not a #1 pick. #1 round one.
Just okay. And that's it.
I'll tell you what's more than okay.
Yeah, pal.
How about Pilot Flying J has agreed to a 20-year sponsorship deal with the University of Tennessee, which includes on-field logos, and Pilot will be the presenting partner of the Neyland Stadium renovation project.
Look, Haslam has been giving money to that program for years. Now it's legal, and now that's a massive, massive NIL deal. It equals what Fred Smith did for FedEx and the University of Memphis.
Yep.
That's a big deal, man. That's a huge deal. All that Pilot money coming in.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it truly is the wild, wild west.
Yeah, but I mean, I have no problem with, and we've seen it post, pandemic, that like in hockey, you've had the sponsor logos on the helmets and now on the jersey. You have a lot more stuff on the ice. In football, you're starting to see that. In basketball, you're seeing it. Like,
stay away from the helmets.
In football helmets, yes.
Thank you.
100%.
You can put the arm patch on, the shoulder pads, whatever.
I agree.
Or on the side of the pants. Stay away. Corporate people, stay away from college football helmets. Stop it.
I agree.
I don't want to see it on there.
I agree. I mean, what I think, and I say stay away from it completely, but what I think you'll probably end up seeing is something on the back.
That should be reserved for in memoriam.
I agree, but I'm just, look, all these pro teams, universities, they're looking for any piece of real estate to make money on.
What's been the downfall of man throughout history?
Money.
Greed.
This is greed.
Yeah.
To the next level.
Right. But
I don't mind these guys getting paid. I'm all for it. Look, to a small degree, I know what they're going through. I don't mind that at all. But when the corporations start influencing jerseys and helmets, and it drives me insane. It drives me insane. They'll probably put a Pilot logo on the field. I think that's wrong.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of that.
They are doing that.
Oh, God.
But see, again, what does that really bother?
It bothers me.
But why?
Do you not care about me?
I do care
about
I do
me.
care about you, but my thing is, it doesn't really, at first maybe you have to get used to it because it's unusual, but then after a while and look, this is going to sound counterproductive to what they're trying to do,
right?
But after a while, you don't notice it.
All right, what about when they take over the end zone? You got a problem with
that? Yeah, don't touch the checkerboard.
Don't touch any end zone.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
I don't want to see it gets into the Pilot end zone. Another touchdown in the Pilot end zone.
Yeah.
You're already getting the money. You don't need the mention of that. Leave.
Now, I'll tell you where that's going to happen is the NFL. The NFL will do that. The NFL will definitely put logos in the end zone.
But like now it says Titans, but remove that and put
it would
Pinnacle
say
Bank.
It would say Titans, and then it would probably have Pinnacle Bank on either side.
Oh, God. What do you
see it being on the pylon? A logo on the pylon for sure.
Yeah,
so let me ask you this: so
you'll have the Titans logo in the middle of the field, and then a sponsor under it.
I think so. That's going to make you go bank wherever because you see that.
No, but it's like hockey where you have the boards on the side of the rink and they have advertisements
That's
everywhere.
Fine. I don't pay attention to that nonsense anyway.
Okay, it's the same thing for football. You're going to have that on the sideline. You're going to have a Pilot logo on the sideline in white, and you're going to have probably an orange Pilot logo.
Yeah. Well, no, I got now. They have the tarp on the sideline where you won't come off and where your cleats and everything. I got no problem if you put a Pilot logo there. Stay off the field.
I don't believe they'll put it on.
Stay off the field.
It will be
it's going to be on the field.
Ridiculous.
Well, but here's the thing: at Vanderbilt, there's a First Bank logo on the field because they are the naming rights partner of the
Good.
stadium.
Put your name on the stadium. I don't need to see it on the field.
But it says First Bank Stadium.
I don't need to see that. I already know it's First Bank Stadium. I know that's fine. I don't need to see that on the field.
But why does that bug you?
It just does.
It's like it doesn't do anything.
Leave that alone. You don't need that.
It doesn't.
What's next?
It doesn't do anything to change the game.
What's next, man? What comes next after this? Jerseys wearing.
Like
First
I
Bank?
said, every piece of real estate available.
It's not going to end.
No, it's not. But I mean,
and don't give me the
I get it.
Stupid soccer crap about what's the
I'm not
Emeritus. What's that airline that Qantas
Fly Emirates?
Well,
Fly
now,
Emirates,
okay.
Yeah.
So you bring up a good point there, because like soccer jerseys, I don't like, because like you look at, I'll use our team, Nashville SC, and like where's their logo's on a tiny little patch. That's it. You have a giant sponsor across the whole jersey. Now that is a soccer thing. They've done that for a long time.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't.
That's how they do it. No, I don't like that.
Yeah,
I'm with you. I will say before we go to break is that little pilot logo, in the like where the face mask is.
Yeah,
and they have that little rubber patch in the middle.
Right.
I feel like they'd put it there.
Because, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
because
it has the T right now.
Yeah, because if you do a lot of, but hear me out. A lot of those ESPN macro shots when they do those montages, you're gonna get facial, pictures of players.
No,
and there's gonna be the pilot right there.
You're already given money. You don't need to take that real estate. You need to leave that alone,
brother. You know what they're doing now?
I'm fighting every damn ounce of energy I got on this.
This is NASCAR. NASCAR's been doing this for 50 years.
That's fine.
But that's now every sport's doing it.
That's fine.
And I'm surprised it took this long.
Be unique to your sport, but leave college football alone. Leave it alone.
I don't think
all
it's
right,
going away.
I'm taking all kinds. I'm ready to fight now. I gotta get out of here.
615-737-1025. More in hour number 2. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Hour number 2, Chase and Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3, The Game on this Tuesday. Hope you're having a great start to your day. We have calmed Big Joe down
a little bit
after Sponsorgate, I guess is what we're going to call it.
It is. Hey, real quick to our good friends, Thursday night, head down to Bar Lines at the Omni Nashville Hotel. It's called If This Bar Could Talk, songs and stories from Bar Lines featuring some of the top songwriters in Nashville. Kaylee Clark will be down there, Curtis John, Angus Gill, Carson Byer. It starts at 5:30. Here's the best part about this show. It's free. Bar Lines, Omni Nashville, this Thursday starting at 5:30. Go down there. It's one of the best places in town to watch music, to hear music, to see people. 5:30 Thursday, Bar Lines, If This Bar Could Talk.
Wow, that'll be cool. The Omni Nashville Hotel, obviously, where you can find Bar Lines, and we'll be there at Kitchen Notes on Friday.
As we were discussing corporate stuff, I got an email from Vanderbilt, and I was like, oh, God, are they listening? And it says, you can secure your single game tickets today. I thought everything was sold out. All the season tickets.
Maybe.
Okay, to do that. Yeah. So, again, no, I'm fighting this corporate stuff, man. You can do everything. You can name the stadium. You can name your ice bucket.
But you're saying that you're fighting it for college sports, or do you mean in general?
Just college sports. I just think I want to look at the LSU football field at Death Valley and not see 7 logos on the field. I want to watch a game at Bryant-Denny and not see 6 logos on I don't want to see that stuff.
I got news for you. Like this deal with Tennessee and Pilot that they announced today, a 20-year deal, and I believe they're the first to do it.
It's a massive deal.
Everybody's going to follow suit. I mean, that's how it is.
So if you're Pilot, what do you want? I mean, what do you want? You want your logo on the field? Do you want on the jersey? I mean,
it's going on the field. Like that's what the release says. It's going to be on
at
the field.
20.
I don't know, but it's going to be at the field.
A little Pilot J there. How about some? I don't know. I was going to say something, but I'm not going to say it now. Okay. I mean, I get it, but stay away from the uniforms, man, please. I mean, if you're now,
I agree. I mean, I would love to see that. I just don't think that's going to happen.
I mean, if you're an Alabama fan and they get sponsored by Alabama Power and Light, and all of a sudden there's a big patch on the shoulder. Yeah. No, I don't like that. It's college football. There's still some purity left in it. There's still some purity that we get excited about. Whether it's at Cumberland, whether it's at MTSU, whether it's at Vanderbilt, whether it's at Texas.
Right. But okay, let me play devil's advocate for a second.
You're not a good actor
on this. That is not true. In the 3rd grade, I was the police officer in the Pied Piper of Hamelin, and I won the best actor.
One episode of Nashville where you fought Deacon outside Tootsie's.
I know.
You're pretty good.
That was great. We laughed about that.
And no stunt doubles. I was proud of you too.
No, he can hit.
He can hit.
But anyway, if a program like MTSU,
okay,
all right, let's just use that for an example. Chris Massaro gets a call from Joe's, whatever you have, Joe's Shoes, and you're a graduate, and it's like, Chris, I want to give you $1 million. I want to give the football team $1 million, and I want my logo on the jerseys. Well, guess what? If I'm Chris Massaro, I'm going, you got it.
No.
Done. Because for a program like that, $1 million can go a long way.
Put on the jersey. So you're selling out.
I'm not saying that.
No. Where does it stop? Tell me where it stops.
It doesn't. It's not.
That's the problem I got with it, because it's not going to stop anywhere.
I understand.
I got a problem with that.
And you can have a problem with it. I mean, I don't love it, but I'm just telling you, I'm living in a realist world and just telling you it's not going away.
Now, somebody had sent me notes and said, what about Nike on the jersey? That's fine. We've known that for years. You're giving the jersey, giving money. That's fine.
But, okay, so that's a really good point, because in a roundabout way, they kind of started a lot of this.
Yeah.
Because of
you got to have a jersey.
What's his name? Phil Knight in Oregon. Remember used to, you had a home jersey and an away jersey.
Yep.
That was it. And then Nike gets involved with Oregon, and they have the 3rd jersey, and then the 4th one, and then the 5th one, and then basically they had uniform combinations that there were like 400 uniform combinations of different helmets and things like that.
Right.
And guess what happens? Everybody follows suit. because the kids like that. Then they use it as a recruiting tool. That's why there was this bidding war between Nike and Adidas and to try and get apparel, because the kids like that. So, but that's brand exposure for Nike.
By the way, did you know why there were dark uniforms and white uniforms starting out?
Black and white TV.
My man. 100%. There you go. Good job. The jersey's fine. Nike symbol, that's fine. We're used to all that. I just don't like the corporate stuff on there.
Listen, the Nike thing, the baseball purists bitched and moaned about that, because like the Yankees, the pinstripe to have the swoosh on it.
Yeah.
You got used to it. I mean, it just
I got to know where it stops, man. I mean, if Pilot J does this, and then Chase McCabe Enterprises wants their patch on there, and then when is enough money? I
don't want it to be NASCAR where you got 15 sponsors on the jersey.
Yeah,
like that's not what I'm saying. But it's going to get to that way in the NFL and college. I mean, the NBA, it's already there.
That's
the
fine.
NHL, it's already there. Baseball, it's already there. Soccer, we know it's there. Now, I kind of like how baseball does it. They got it on the shoulder, right here. So it's not in the way of the jersey. So I would probably prefer that. But it's going to happen.
I'll give you the logo on the field. Stay away from the jerseys and the helmets in college.
They're not going to.
I think it's going to get to this. If I were, a smart AD of some degree, I would say, hey, if you want your logo on my jersey, there's going to be a bidding war for it. We're only going to have one logo on our jersey. If you want it,
well, yeah, and I think that's what it is.
Where do you put it?
It depends. If they want to pay $300 million to put it on my Tookus, go ahead. If they want to pay $500 million, put it right above.
Be reasonable.
I mean, right here on the left chest.
I don't like it, man. I just don't. I know I'm going to fight this. I know it's happening, but I just don't like it. Just stay away from that. You put the logo on the field, put it around the stadium, wherever you want to go, put it on the hats, on the sideline. Just keep it off the field.
I would say left chest or like on the neck, right above the nameplate.
Oh, God.
On the back of the jersey, that is.
I hate it. None of this do I like.
615-737-1025. That's our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Blake says it's going to be similar to NHL Ice with their logos. Never really notice it after a while, which that's counterproductive to what the company wants.
Right.
But it's also the truth, because you get used to it. You just, it becomes a part of it. Another texter says it's been in basketball for years. And here's this one, 5087. McDonald's will have a field day with this. Players will be advertising that the McRib is back. Yeah, could you imagine McDonald's in Tennessee?
All right. Oh, have fun with it. You're exactly right.
I mean, like if McDonald's entered into a partnership with Tennessee and they did a commercial with players holding McDonald's bags,
oh my gosh, it'd be fantastic.
Can you imagine how epic that would be?
Like one guy hands a bag to a player, he's like, shh.
And then Jeremy Pruitt sues them. That would be even better.
It'd be great. Like you go to like one of the coach's office, say, for example, when we use Butch Jones for a prime example, say,
don't.
Okay, let's not use Butch Jones.
I want to hear this.
Let's say Joe Dubin is the head coach of the University of Tennessee. They do a nice, wonderful advertisement of a player walking out of Joe Dubin's office. Hey, you want a number one? You go to Joe Dubin's office. He just pops right, shows the brown McDonald's bag.
Coach Joe.
Yeah. Coach Joe's got you going, man.
I have
you a bag.
I have open spots because I got rid of all the punters. So you come to UT and fill those scholarships.
For Brett. We love Brett.
Yeah, he's still a punter, though.
615-737-1025. Tune into 94.9 The Fan today as the Sounds take on Durham. Pregame at 5:20, the first pitch at 5:35. Coverage also available on the 94.9 The Fan app and 94.9thefan.com. Sounds Baseball on 94.9 The Fan, presented by Twin Peaks, Family Leisure, 5 Points Roofing, Cottle Vet Clinic, and Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. And it's totally a good time to check out 5 Points Roofing. 5 Points Roofing FireFireForYou.com. That is the website where you can get this entire process started, and they'll make it so easy on you. You know, the weather in the spring, it got rough at times. Maybe you've noticed over the last few months that started leaking. You need to get somebody to check your roof out. 5pointsroofing.com. Get an appointment. They'll come out, they'll do an inspection for free, and then determine what repairs you need. And if they determine it was storm damage, they'll walk you through the insurance claim process, taking that stress off of you. 5pointsroofing.com, FIVE pointsroofing.com. You got to spell it out. Go to 5pointsroofing.com to get started today. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. One of the greatest songs ever by Led Zeppelin. So my senior year at FRA, I was in this thing called the Jazz Combo.
Okay.
I think that's what it was called. So it was like 4 of us. And we actually, this was junior year. We got to pick a non-jazz song to do.
Yeah.
And so we played Kashmir.
Nice.
It was awesome.
Nice. It's the iconic scene from Fast Times when Spicoli and him are driving down the street and they wreck the car.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I'll have to watch that this weekend. It's been a while. I've seen it, but it's just been a while.
Chase, this might be a dumb question. Are you musically inclined? Are you really good at music? Like
and I play guitar.
It's a pretty good guitar player. I'll vouch for him.
Yeah.
I didn't know this actually.
There's one in Joe's office if you want to go grab it real quick.
He got like 6 of them. I walk by his office. I hear him in the mornings. I mean, he's pretty good.
It's therapeutic, man.
I didn't know that Chase was a guitarist.
Yeah. I've started playing my freshman year in high school. I mean, I'm not great. I'm not the best. It's more of a hobby. Like I wish maybe looking back that I had put a little more into it when I was younger to take it somewhere, but
you still can.
Yeah, I still can. Like during COVID, that was one of the things that I did a lot was because obviously we had nothing to do. So I kind of picked it back up and played more.
That's awesome.
We had a few segments on the show because we were all doing, shows at home, and I would plug my guitar into my broadcast setup, and people would call in, and I'd play a lick, and they'd guess the song.
Yes. Like, name that tune, man.
Yeah, it was kind of fun.
That
It's
sponsored
inventive.
together at cromwell.com.
Yeah,
Pilot,
that's it.
if you're listening.
Hey, by the way, interns, we're looking for interns.
Yes.
Interns at cromwellmedia.com.
It's going to be tough to, our intern we had this summer, the handsome Colin Kadoof. I mean, that's a handsome intern, smart, guy's going places. Have we talked to Colin Kadoof? What's he doing?
Haven't. I believe he's back at school now.
Okay. Well, we need
You
to
miss
keep
him,
up
don't
with these
you?
guys. He's a handsome young man. Yeah. It was like he was Ryan and I was Michael Scott. That's the relationship that we had from the office.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That we had at the.
Hey, I started as an intern.
You had something that always bugs me that you just brought up. Not
Okay.
you, but about starting things, right?
Yeah.
It's never too late to start, right? It's never too late to start anything. During COVID, I picked up a good crappy guitar, went to YouTube. What's the easiest song to learn with 2 chords? It's A Horse with No Name.
Yeah.
So I played that song within 30 minutes. I learned that song. And
I
just
came
go
over
from
to your
there.
house. We sat in your garage.
We did.
and played
It was
guitar.
8 degrees and we had pizza and drink beer.
We did. It was
And then
fun.
then I kick you out and said, get out of here. And then we got in a fight in the middle of the street and Tim Ducker
had to come over.
Stop.
I
I'll
can
stop
join
by
in.
fighting.
I'll play hot cross buns. I can do that.
Okay. Yeah. Did you play the xylophone?
No.
In kindergarten? You learned the
It's
xylophone?
not a flute, whatever you call it. It's like the little
Don't do that.
I don't know. I don't know.
Don't do that. Just no, stop.
I don't
Stop.
know.
You didn't play the flute
Oh
or
my
the
God.
xylophone in
It
kindergarten?
might have been the flute. I don't know.
3 blind mice?
yeah.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah. I just know I played like the triangle and like the little tambourine and
Okay,
so
good.
we had music class. I just didn't really. I was not musically
That's fine.
inclined.
That's fine. It's.
Tried to play the drums. That didn't happen. Just sounded like I.
Do you know you can go to Guitar Center and you could play the silent drums? You can put the headphones on and play the drums. Nobody can hear you but you.
Oh, I'll stick to
see.
rock band.
I sat there for like an hour and a half, not too long ago, in between my other job. I sat there and played. Nobody said a word to me. For an hour and a half, I sat in the Guitar Center and played the silent drums. It was fantastic. I was
Oh,
waiting for
they're
them to kick
awesome.
me out. Nobody said a word to me.
No,
God bless you, workers at Guitar Center.
So the funniest thing was my buddy and I, he plays guitar too. We went into this guitar store that's no longer around. And, there's kind of some unwritten rules when you go into a music store, like don't play Stairway to Heaven, don't play.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Like songs that are overdone. Like there's just, don't play Smoke on the Water.
That's an unwritten rule at a music store?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know
It's
this.
from, it's in Wayne's World.
Oh, okay. That's been a while.
They go in the store and there's a sign that says no stairway.
Okay.
So my buddy and I literally sit down and when you play guitar, you kind of have just those natural warm-up things you do that you don't even realize you do.
Correct.
And I think I started playing Sweet Home Alabama just as like a warm-up. Literally had just sat down with the guitar and the owner comes over and goes, "All right, guys, got to wrap it up."
Really?
And kicks us out.
How did you not know you're there to buy some?
I don't know. I took lessons there. And I think that's what I was there for. I just gotten done with lessons. I was like, I just paid for a lesson, right? But he was like, "Oh, really?" And I go, "Yeah, I'm in here all the time." And he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." I'm like, "Give me a guitar or I'll no, I'm kidding.
This place is now gone?
Yeah.
Well,
And there's a reason.
Yeah, you just told that. I mean, I
Yeah.
can kind of guess what the reason is
Yeah.
right there.
So, but
Well
yeah,
done.
it was kind of funny. Yeah, 1978. Stairway denied. That was from Wayne's World.
Oh, okay. It's been a while since I saw that movie.
Yeah. So 615-737-1025.
Just
One of our rabbit holes.
Learning things as we go. I had no idea there was.
You guys should play guitar together on the
We
air.
have.
I
On the
On
air.
the air.
It's not.
It'd be
He's,
We got to
great.
practice.
he's far. I know like 4 songs, and they're all like Jimmy Buffett songs and a modern English song. That's all I know.
That's great. You guys can do it.
I'll play the same 4 songs over and over again.
I
did
stop
learn
the
how to-
world and melt with you.
Yeah,
heard
I
that this
did learn how to play "I'm All Right" by Kenny Loggins. It's 2 chords, man, and I go on my little tab list. It's like 9 chords. I was like, This doesn't work. And then a guy that I've gotten to know, a guitar player named Marcus King, said, "Stop all that. Here's a shortcut, and it's fantastic. It's all about who you know in the world. That's it. It's all about who you know."
It is all about who you know. That is for sure. I have no idea where to go from this.
Well, I'm hoping Woody and Jim.
Sorry,
I'm hoping Woody and Jim are out of the bathroom because I need to go to the bathroom.
Oh, they might be. I don't know. Gender Wars every day at 7:20. After Gender Wars, it's Toilet Wars. So
totally hits, totally Nashville.
That's right.
Home of MTSU football.
That's right.
Then 2 weeks, Tennessee Tech.
Darn right. 615-737-1025. We'll get into the Titans joint practices and much more coming up next on Chasing Big Joe. 1025, 1063 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game, here on this Tuesday.
Quite possibly the greatest line in any song ever.
Which one?
It's Lord, beautiful girl. What's the line? You just sing it.
Standing on a corner in Winslow, Arizona, such a fine sight to see.
The next line.
It's a girl, my lord, in a flatbed Ford slowing down to take a look at me.
You got religion, you got women, you got freedom. I mean, you got all that wrapped up in one line. So when Glenn Frey passed away, I watched that Eagles documentary that had just come out. It was like 3 hours long. It's one of the greatest. If you're into music, if you're not into music, whether you like the Eagles or not, watch this. And so Jackson Browne and Glenn Frey were roommates, right?
And Jackson Browne had started writing this song, and had like he was getting stuck. And I can't remember if he had the line they were just talking about, or if Glenn came up with the line. But that's how they Take It Easy was born.
Yeah, that's right. That, by the way, that documentary, all the access they had.
I do have the guitar, by the way.
And then they had the fight between Don Henley, Glenn Frey, and Don Felder.
Yeah.
And then after like this political rally, and they got it's all on tape. It's an amazing documentary. It might be my all-time favorite documentary.
Yeah, it's definitely one that everybody should check out.
Who got them back together?
Oh, I don't remember. Was it Joe Walsh?
Travis Tritt.
Oh yeah, because he covered Take It. There was that album.
That's right.
There was like a tribute album to them, and he did Take It Easy.
Yep. And they got back together and said, "What are we doing?" 14 years later, and that's where they came up with Hell Freezes Over, because that was like, we'll never get back until Hell Freezes Over.
And then wasn't it Glenn that said like, "Well, we didn't actually break up. We just took
something along those lines."
He was being funny about it, but and I got to see them obviously without Glenn a few years ago. Vince Gill, our buddy, has done a tremendous job being a part of the Eagles.
Oh yeah.
I told him, I said, you have the coolest job in the world. You have a Hall of Fame music career in your own right, and then you join a Hall of Fame band. And he's like, yeah, not too bad, is it?
He's got a great story, Vince does. I'll roll out this story real quick. He was doing sound check, and he was playing Whenever You Come Around. And Don Henley shows up and says, "What is that?" And Vince's like, "Oh, it's a song I had." And Don's like, "Well, let's play it during the show." And Vince says, "I don't want to give Eagles fans another reason to hate me."
Oh, wow.
And Don Henley's like, "I respect that." And that was it.
But they did. They have played
a few, but not a lot of them.
He'll get up there and say, like, "You mind if I play a few hillbilly songs?" And
why don't you play a hillbilly song there? You got the guitar there, Chase.
What do you want me to play? Hey, okay, how about this? In honor of what we were just talking about.
Go, man.
Wait, I messed it up.
Oh, come on. What is
Rocky Top?
Oh, okay. All right. Well done.
I'm sure their fans are like, turn that off.
Not me. What's your go-to song?
You
had one song to play.
Take It Easy.
We'll play it then.
I like Take It Easy. Here, we'll do this.
All right.
You need new strings.
Don't play me. Don't play me.
I'm not singing, so there you go.
Okay, well done. Bravo. Looks good. But don't blame.
Just to prove that I could play.
Don't blame my strings.
I'm nervous. Okay. I don't
to be fair, Chase played pretty good under pressure. That was good.
10 years he's been on the radio. Now he's nervous. What's the most nervous you've ever been?
Like in my career or just in general?
Overall.
Our good friend Haley at 102.9 The Buzz, when she got married, she asked me to officiate. That was the most nervous I've probably been.
Why?
Because I was like, I don't want to screw this up. Like, this is her wedding day. So, I'm like, okay, I'm trying to be funny. I'm trying to be serious.
Oh,
like,
man.
Put it all. Yeah. And then I'm glad I didn't have all man guy.
Oh, that's great. Dr. Crane, about you? The most nervous?
That's tough. I really don't. I don't recall. I mean, I've been nervous before, but I can't recall off the top of my head. Memory's not great.
You're nervous now. You're shaking.
He is a little nervous.
I just
now.
have massive anxiety. I can't help it.
Over ants?
No, just in general.
Why?
I just developed this weird anxiety thing. I don't know. I'm just anxious. Walk in, you scare me in 5 seconds. I mean,
It's true.
It's a current thing.
All right, you're a big Mississippi State sports fan, so you get anxious watching them play?
Not at all.
Why not?
When I watch sports, I don't get nervous.
Okay.
No. When I played, I kind of did, but not really.
Well, that's given.
Once, I had the first crack of the pads, it felt great.
Yeah.
I was just like, all right, let me just crack some more pads.
No, we crack skulls.
Skulls. Yeah, okay.
Snapping necks and cashing checks.
By the way, we were talking about, and don't be nervous, be who you are.
Thank you.
Around us. We were talking earlier about the Will Levis and the mayonnaise commercial.
Yeah.
So as the director of operations and sports programming here at 102.5, 106.3 The Game, I'm privy to the grid from 2:00. Will Levis' new mayonnaise spot is so cringe. So there you go.
I've got no problem with the Will Levis spot.
I don't either, but you knew, here's my thing. You knew Jared was not going to be on board with it because everybody else is.
All right.
And you'll listen, and I want you to listen. And I'm sure he'll make some valid points. But he will sit there and I haven't even read the rest of it or what he's going to do. But he will probably, complain that it's stupid and he needs to focus on football. He'll be that crew and that whatever. I just think that right, but he's not doing it during the season.
No, not at all.
So it's like and yes, he's going to be asked about it whenever he speaks, and that's fine. But it doesn't need to be made into a big deal.
So let me ask you, I've told you this story before. It's 2008. I got a phone call from Reebok and said, come over to the Titans bubble. Vince Young is shooting this interactive commercial with Reebok. They're spending all these millions, all this stuff going on. What's the difference? I mean, Vince had a meltdown game one and the commercial was scrapped. Reebok spent millions on it. And I spent like 10 hours that day watching a green screen and Vince Young and all these different things that were going on. He had these mighty plans for him. What's the difference? This was in early June of 2008. They're going to roll that commercial out in the fall, and they scrapped it because Vince had that meltdown after week one.
It would have worked perfect, by the way, because T-Pain had a song out that said Reebok with the strap. It was just perfect lining of it all because I bought those shoes.
Yeah, that was his first. No, it wasn't T-Pain. Well, it's Flo Rida and T-Pain. Yeah, it was low.
Yes.
So I got no problem if there's you can do whatever you want. Hell, the story and Fisher didn't add to this, but when they did the Bears did the Super Bowl shuffle, I was told they did that the night they flew back after they lost to Miami on Monday Night Football. They did it the next day. That was the rumor that's out there.
And didn't Fisher say it was done like months before?
Months before, yeah. But I read that was done the day before. I mean, the day after they got back. So anyway, I have to go with the other story.
Legends they get more and more.
Right. So to have the Stones to do that mid-season,
the footballs. As John McLean said this morning, he'll join us tomorrow at 9:30. But when he joined Robbie and Rex Road, he said the footballs, and I think we need to use that term now.
Have instead of Stones,
the
footballs. Okay, I like that. To do the Bears to do that mid-season, imagine they don't win the Super Bowl. I mean, then you're talked about like, oh, how could you do this forever and ever and ever and ever? And it was something else. So what you do in the offseason, I don't care. Good for Will Levis. Get the money. Have fun with it. Have personality. Boom.
Exactly. And then for the next 2 days, be on your P's and Q's with practice. I mean, this is where, we talked about having the opportunity to try things that maybe you wouldn't try in a game. He can try them against another defense in practice.
Yeah.
But look, it's an important couple of days, not only for the Titans as a whole, but for Will Levis specifically.
I agree. These are the two most important days in Will Levis' career, mainly because that's the next step in the journey.
Yeah.
So you're going against the Seahawks defense Wednesday and Thursday that you haven't seen, probably haven't prepared for. Now it's you and your receiver, all this work you've done with everything. They're coming to town. It's live. You got guys coming at you. So I'm excited to see what happens the next 2 days when the Seahawks roll in town.
Me too. Bob has a story on the Eagles real quick. Bob, what's up?
Yeah, y'all mentioned the Eagles, and I actually got to see them at Bridgestone before Glenn Fry passed away. And it's funny you're talking about. So they came out and said, well, first we had the farewell tour, then we had the Hell Freezes Over tour, and this is now the assisted living tour.
That was pretty good. Oh, that was good.
Well done.
Thanks, Bob. Appreciate it.
Absolutely awesome performance.
Thank you.
Thank you, buddy.
Somebody texted in too and said, where was it? Somebody said, oh, here we go. 0911. One of the last Eagles concerts before they broke up in 1980 was at Murphy Center. I know because I was there.
Could have been.
It probably was. I mean, people don't realize how many big shows were at the Murphy Center.
Massive
shows. They have, for the 50th anniversary, they have like a timeline of stuff, but like Whitney Houston, Tina Turner, WWF used to come there all the time.
I saw Journey and Bryan Adams there in the early 80s. Fantastic show. It was good.
Garth Brooks. We've talked about Alan Jackson many times on the show, and he talked about playing at Murphy Center. They used to love playing there.
We are your Alan Jackson default radio station.
We are. I need to learn more Alan Jackson.
You do. You should pull some strings, get him on the air. You know people that know people.
Maybe. Try.
I mean,
maybe I'd love to have him on.
You pinned a corsage into his daughter's shoulder when he couldn't take her to prom. Did she give you a boutonniere?
Yeah.
Oh.
Back when.
Do you still have that boutonniere?
I think my mom does. I don't know.
A boutonniere. Nice. Chaser.
I have the memories. That's what I have.
You have the memories. Home by 7.
Exactly. Coming up next, we'll tell you what day it is and also celebrity birthdays here on the Chasing Big Joe Show, 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
My six string on my front porch swing. Smell those shrimp, they're beginning to boil. Wasting away again in Margaritaville.
Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Will JB bringing us back here on this Tuesday. A classic. And remember, we learned when we went to Key West where he wrote that song or parts of it.
That is correct.
We saw the front porch swing where he strummed his six string.
He did. All that. Good times.
It's a good one. All right, with that, let's get to what day is it and celebrity birthdays.
All right, gentlemen. First on the list today, there's only 3 of them. So, only 3. International Left-Handers Day. So, people that use their left hand, congratulations.
Southpaws.
Yes. 2 of the favorite things I like that are a good combination. National Filet Mignon Day. There's that.
I love that.
Get a good little filet mignon. Big Joe, you a filet mignon kind of guy?
I am a filet mignon kind of guy.
All right.
Especially at Burger King.
Oh, okay. The other one is a National Prosecco Day. Not a Prosecco guy, but, you know,
not bad.
A nice red wine would be good with a nice.
You're Italian. You like red wine, right?
Oh, yeah. Prosecco's not a red wine, though.
Yeah, Prosecco's like champagne, right?
Yeah, it's a champagne bubbly.
But on that same neighborhood, you like red wine.
Yeah.
A little bit of the bubbly.
Name that movie, Joe.
What's that?
Bubbly.
Michael Bublé?
No. Dumb and Dumber. It's all right.
Okay.
Continuing on to celebrity birthdays.
Goodness. All right. Only 3. All right. Time for celebrity birthdays, America's favorite game. You have to get the birthdays within 2 years. Our first birthday today, Chase, you go first.
Okay.
Actor John Slattery. Who is that guy? He's the silver-haired guy from Mad Men. He was in Desperate Housewives.
Oh, yeah,
He's been a bunch of stuff.
63.
58.
61. Chase on the board early on. Well done there. All right. Next up is, I've never heard of this guy, but evidently he's popular. Sebastian Stan.
The name sounds familiar. I don't really know. But
The name doesn't ring a bell, but your fez looks familiar. You know what that's from?
yeah.
Will Ferrell
Yeah.
in the first Dr. Austin Powers.
All right, so I'm gonna say 47.
39.
41. We're tied at 1. I've never heard of Sebastian Stan, but there he is. Know what that is? Lennon Stella.
Lennon Stella.
Yep. Guitar player. Evidently, she lives here in Nashville.
34.
44.
24.
More.
Good show.
Never heard of her. Let's see here. Actor Danny Bonaducci from the Partridge Family. He is crazy.
77.
80.
64.
Oh, boy.
Really weird. Country singer lives in Mount Juliet. Andy Griggs.
53.
56.
50. All right. That's all for let's go to
Please.
athletes. Ken Griffey Jr.'s best friend, Jay Buhner. Remember that speech that Griffey gave about Jay Buhner and how much he meant to him? Jay Buhner. How old is Jay Buhner?
55.
57.
60. Tied at 1. This guy gets talked about quite a bit on the show by Chris Sanders. Chris Dishman, former Tennessee Oiler. Today's his birthday.
50.
53.
59.
Oh.
One of my favorite baseball players of all time. During the regular season, he didn't do anything. But for the Atlanta Braves, during the playoffs, Mark Lemke was everything.
Lemke.
How old is Mark Lemke today?
58.
59.
59 exactly.
You
Dr.
price is right.
Crane. 3-1. Former San Francisco 49ers quarterback, Elvis Grbac. Remember he went to the Chiefs and fizzled out?
Oh, yeah.
Elvis Grbac.
But was he after Young in Montana?
He was.
Yeah.
Went to the same high school as Desmond Howard. Elvis Grbac.
58.
53.
54. Dr. Crane's at 4-1. Former Kentucky basketball player DeMarcus Cousins.
Boogie.
How old is DeMarcus Cousins?
38.
34.
My God, Dr. Crane. 34 exactly.
Hey.
You're up 6-1, Dr. Crane. And believe it or not,
There's no coming back.
there is that's all the birthdays we got for today. There's not really anybody else that stands out that down the line I'm looking. Another Tennessee Titans. Armin Williams played for the Tennessee Oilers. Never heard of him. Safety. Never heard of him.
I don't remember him.
I don't remember him at all.
Does Derek remember him? Oh, Derek.
Not here
That's
quite
Adam.
yet.
Hey, Adam.
Does Adam remember him? Armin Williams. That's it. So, Dr. Crane, you win 6-1 on that.
Armin Williams is 73.
He's 51 today.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
All right.
If he's a Tennessee Oiler and that old, well, that's something that's going on. We'll let David Faraday, golf announcer.
62.
66.
Dr. Crane, he's 66
Good
exactly.
Seriously? He was in all the PGA PlayStation games.
Is he moved over to live?
I don't know. It's a great question.
I don't know. I just, Liv was here, was a lot of fun, and then that disappeared. And it's like, all right, what's going on now?
Liv ghosted me. So, oh, you meant the golf tour. Sorry.
Oh, no. Well, last week somebody sent me a picture of John Daly and Bryson DeChambeau at Old Hickory Country Club shooting some video called Under 50.
Yeah, it's a part of his YouTube channel. He does like a lot of
DeChambeau or Daly?
DeChambeau.
Okay.
He does a lot of competitions where like you can shoot under 50. They shoot from the red tees.
Oh.
So he did one with like Donald Trump recently.
Has he done it? Shot under 50?
Oh yeah, absolutely. They do a combination of scores. It's like best ball, and whoever has the closest to the pin, they take that one. And
That's
they
not
play
fun.
Well, it's for charity.
Oh, okay. As I tell people, when you do a golf tournament like that, the best wood in your bag is your pencil.
Okay. I thought you were gonna say something else, but
Yeah,
all
I
right.
didn't know where you're going with that.
Yeah.
No, that's because everybody cheats in these scrambles. There's a former Metro Police chief who was famous for cheating in these games.
Is his name Ronald?
His name is Emmett.
Oh,
He
okay.
cheated all the time, and I witnessed all of it.
That will do it for us today.
It will. It'll do it
We'll
for
be
us.
at Titans practice tomorrow.
And Titans practice tomorrow and Thursday in the Omni National Hotel on Friday. A lot of fun. Hey, to our guys out there today, listen, man, you're doing great. You talk to somebody, 988 on your cell phone. Please reach out. Please talk to someone. As we say all the time, man, we love you. God has you on this earth for a specific purpose that only you can fulfill. And I'm telling you, man, if something happened to you, you'll be tremendously missed. So remember that. Know that we love you, and a lot of people love you. Keep kicking ass.
Amen to that. I need to learn how to play this and end the show one day. That would be kind of
Do
fun.
it.
Willie and D-Mace with Adam Vingan sitting in. Coming up next here on 102.5, 106.3, The Game.